We are in Pretoria today, and this is where the vet sector is coming under the spotlight, where they're pushing for transformation where this sector is concerned. We know very well that the country has seen a lot of diseases and viruses that are affecting animals over time. That also threatening the issue of food security. Pivotal is the agricultural sector when you look at what has been happening in the economy over time. So we see most of those in the sector just gathering here today, just hosted by the University of Pretoria, where they're taking stock of the sector, and we're hearing as well that those critical skills are very needed where this sector is concerned over time, and which is why we are seeing two departments here from government forming part of this engagement here, one being the Department of Agriculture, the other one being the Department of Higher Education, Innovation and Science, where they are forming part of these particular discussions as they try to bring about solutions for the country where this vet sector is concerned. I'm going to bring into the conversation now Nzinga, the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, this being Minister Buti Manamela. We saw you delivering a keynote address talking about the conversations that you've been having as well with young people, just trying to entice them to form part of this sector as we hear that there's a shortage where vets are concerned in the country. Welcome to the SABC.
Thank you so much for having me, and I think it's a pleasure to have the health and welfare SETA together with the University of Pretoria and our department, having these conversations. This is not the first of its kind, and I think the results from last year's conversation resulted in an investment by government into the University of Pretoria Veterinary Science faculty to support, particularly black and women students, to increase the number of, so that the faculty should be reflective of the demographics of our country. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we've been going out to reach out to kids in high schools for them to consider veterinary science as a profession. This is not something that one thinks about, unless the information is brought to their fore. And the reason why there is this drive is because of the huge shortage of vets in our country. Globally, you need anything between 200 to 400 vets per a million population. In our country, we're still hovering around 60 to 70, which means we still need to do more, to have, vets trained, in our country. But I think the other crucial thing is that South Africa's agricultural sector is one of the major drivers of the economy. Our president's economic recovery plan, prioritized this as one of those key things. But not only the formal agricultural sector, even the informal sector, wherein people are farming for subsistence, rearing cattle, goats, sheep, and all of that, particularly in the countryside, where there is a huge demand, for vet services. And, so the vision of our government is to make sure that we have as many veterinary scientists as possible, as we are trying to expand. Plans around expanding in the University of Fort Hare, are afoot, but also this includes investing into this facility and, so that it has more students, and also prioritizing TVET education to also include, the training and skilling of young people in agriculture-related, programs, but also in veterinary sciences-related, programs. And we think that this is the only way within which we can speak to economic sustainability, employability. We can speak to South Africa's products, both raw and processed agricultural products that can compete, in the global market. We can also speak about food security because, one of the things that I think we need to, for instance, explain is because, the price of eggs, which has been one big issue in the country, is being driven by the fact that there is scarcity or shortage, and that scarcity or shortage has been caused by some of the disease that have attacked the chicken community, and we because are dependent on that, and that's not only with chicken. I mean, you're talking not only avian flu, foot and mouth, and any of sorts of the diseases that can be transmitted or that are transmittable to humans that animals have. That's only on the food side. There's rabies, there's all sorts of diseases that I think we need to take into consideration. And that's why we believe that this sector is one of the most crucial. So the discussion today is not only about, transformation. It's also about, transformation in terms of demographics, but it's also about, ensuring that the sector makes the contribution that it should be in the in the economy of our country.
You're the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, and we know very well that the University of Pretoria is still the only university in the country that is championing and pushing for the training of scientists within the veterinary sector, where this is concerned. Where are we in terms of the rollout? You've mentioned Fort Hare. Are we really confident that maybe in the next financial year we'll see more institutions really roped in to ensure that they offer this particular skill set and this career path? Because you're saying that you need to see more of these young people interested in forming part of this particular career path.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, we have to see more, and in order to increase, quantitatively, we have to, see more expansion. And as I indicated, the University of Fort Hare, but a lot of other institutions are providing training, in related professions. For instance, the University of Northwest, the Mafikeng campus, has got one of the best facilities, that you can, think of in the training of, for lack of a better word, auxiliary skills that are required for vets or para-vets. Similarly, the Tshwane University of Technology, the Rhodes University and Nelson Mandela University are also training, students in aquaculture. Yes, there is the demand that we need to, respond to. And I think part of responding into those demand is to investing in existing structures, but also helping to expand, some of those that exist outside. And those are not the only institutions. I mean, some of the agricultural colleges, for instance, in Solo, that has been providing so many of the skills that are required in the agricultural sector. I think the point here is the quality of our graduates is not in doubt. I mean, they get absorbed almost immediately, and some of them, are in demand internationally. So the key question is we have to expand, and in the expansion process we have to take into consideration that this is not merely about training doctors for animals. Because there is that perception out there, that if you're training a veterinary scientist, you're training a doctor for animals, and then we've got shortage of, doctors for humans and all of that. There is an interconnection between animal health and human health. And if we can debunk that myth, then we can confidently see, kids from Tuba, kids from Mudimulla, where I come from, and kids from anywhere and everywhere in the all corners of the country, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their race, taking interest in veterinary scientists. So, yes, there would be gradual increases, over time, but ultimately we have to at least be able to meet, the global trend of 200 to 400 veterinary scientists per millionth of the population.
Deputy Minister, thank you very much for your time. That is the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Deputy Minister Buti Manamela, just giving us a sense of his keynote address here, where we're seeing a government also just talking about the work that is being done with those within the sector, and they're also calling for ideas as well in terms of how we can increase the footprint into rural communities as well, where then we'll see the vet, that career path of vet being championed by even those young ones, and they're pushing for transformation really where this is concerned, with the economy in consideration, because it cuts across the health sector and also the financial sector in terms of ensuring that the agricultural sector is on the move through this vets.